Welcome back to Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen with offices in Houston, Texas, and today we're going to discuss advance parole. Specifically, we're going to answer some of the top questions related to advance parole, such as what is advance parole? How do I apply for advance parole? How long does it take? Is there any way that I can speed up or expedite my request for advance parole? And what are the most common problems associated with using advance parole? So what exactly is advance parole? Advance parole, put simply, is if you are a foreign national inside the United States and you don't have a permanent resident card or a green card, you can apply for advance parole, which will allow you to travel outside of the United States and come back into the United States without any issues. So for the most part, people that apply for their green card, and while that's in process, if that foreign national wants to travel abroad, they can apply for advance parole, which will allow them to leave the US and come back into the US without having to use a US visa. Many people that are inside the US right now that are foreign nationals may have expired visas. So the second that they leave the US and try to come back in, the government will not allow them to do so. However, if they have advance parole and it's valid, the United States government will allow them to re-enter the United States and reclaim and reuse the immigration status that they had before they left the United States. So other immigration categories that oftentimes apply for advance parole include people that are on temporary protected status or TPS, or people that are on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, otherwise known as DACA. So these individuals can apply for advance parole. This way they can leave the US and come back in without having any issues. So the next question is, how do I apply for advance parole? If you want to apply for advance parole, you can submit an application to immigration and attach 2 identical passport photos, and you also want to attach proof that you qualify for advance parole and also any applicable fees. The application can be found on the government's website at www.uscis.gov. You're going to search for Form I-131, which is Application of Travel Document. Now this form is used for many different things. It's also used to apply for a re-entry permit, and this is when green card holders want to travel outside of the US and remain outside of the US for over a year. They will need to apply for a re-entry permit, or people that have been granted asylum inside the US and they want to apply for a refugee travel document. So this application is used for many different things. So when you apply for this application for advance parole, you want to make sure that you check off the right category on the application. The next question is, how long does this I-131 application for travel document take to process so you can get an advance parole document? So when you send off this application, it's rerouted to several different service centers. So what the government does is that they look at the service centers and they see whether or not they have the capacity to handle that case. So they'll send it out to just a random service center that has the capacity to handle that case. And if that service center ends up having too many applications and they are unable to process them timely, they're going to reroute that application to a different service center. So when you apply for the travel document, you may not know exactly where that travel document application is going to land, so you don't really have a good idea about how long it takes. So some service centers can take anywhere between 3 to 5 months to process this application, and some other service centers can take right now 4 to 11 months to process the request. So just make sure that you understand that when you submit the application for travel document, you may not really have a good idea about how long it takes. The next question that you may have is there any way to speed up the advance parole process? Because as we mentioned before, it may take anywhere between 3 up to 11 months for advance parole to process. So in this situation, the answer is yes. Sometimes the government will allow a person to speed up the advance parole process for reasons such as employment, education, or humanitarian, such as if you are going abroad to attend a funeral or to visit a sick relative. These are the most common reasons that the government will allow an individual to ask them to speed up the process. Now, the only issue with this is that every local immigration office, so if you're in Houston or if you're in Dallas, they have their individual rules on how to apply for what they call expedite or emergency advance parole. So you want to make sure that if you're trying to speed up your advance parole application, that you hire someone with the experience to accelerate or speed up that process. So the last question is, what are some common problems associated with advance parole? So the first major issue with advance parole is right there, and it's listed on the Customs and Border Patrol's website. And let me read this to you. Due to recent changes to U.S. immigration law, travel outside of the United States may have severe consequences for aliens who are in the process of adjusting their status or applying for an immigrant visa. Upon return, these aliens may be found inadmissible, their applications may be denied, or both. It is important that the alien obtain proper documentation before leaving the United States. So what does all of this mean? So if you are applying for advance parole, just know that the government only does a precursory review of your immigration status. They're looking to see whether or not your classification, let's say for example, you are a green card applicant, you are a TPS, or you're on DACA, whether or not you're eligible to receive the advance parole document. Once they give it to you, it is not a guarantee that you won't have any issues returning to the United States. So all advance parole does is indicate that you qualify not to have to get a visa before you re-enter the United States. However, the advance parole does not guarantee that you'll be able to come into the United States, because there may be reasons in your immigration history that makes you inadmissible to return to the United States. The most common examples that I can think of is if you're in removal proceedings, like you go before an immigration judge and they allow you to remain inside the US on a different immigration classification like TPS or DACA. While your case is going on, if you leave the United States using advance parole, that removal situation that you're in actually becomes an order of removal the second that you step out of the United States. So even if you have advance parole, the second that you try to re-enter the US, you won't be able to do that. Also with TPS, many people that apply using TPS, they may have a criminal history. And although TPS allows individuals to have certain criminal violations, getting back into the US with your criminal violations may not be something that's going to be acceptable to the US government. So even with that advance parole document, you may end up stuck outside of the US. So what is the takeaway here? Make sure that you use an attorney, and not just any attorney, but an immigration attorney, because only an immigration attorney can review your immigration history to determine whether or not it's safe for you to leave the country and return to the US without any issues. So at the end of this video, we're going to share a testimonial from one of our clients. And this client recently asked us to help him apply for advance parole. He's currently on the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And in his testimonial, you'll see that it's safe to travel using advance parole. And also, there are situations that will allow you to expedite the advance parole request. In his particular case, we were able to get the advance parole document in about 2 weeks after we applied. And if you applied for advance parole yourself, you understand that the government makes it very difficult to expedite the case. And this is a very recent example, so stay tuned and listen to the testimonial. Again, thank you for watching Winning Law. I'm attorney David Nguyen, and we hope that you have found this video helpful. If you have any questions about advance parole or want to share your immigration experience, feel free to leave it in the comments below. That way other users watching this video will understand what advance parole is about and how they can successfully apply for advance parole. Thank you again for watching, and we hope that we have made immigration easier to understand.
Of course, my name is Rogelio. I was not, because I just want people that have similar cases like mine to not be scared and just go ahead, go forward with it, because you won't regret doing it. I had never left the country before this past experience that I just had, and I mean, this is my home now, but I do also have family over there that I would like to see, and they would like to see me as well. So I remember very little. Actually, I went over there. When I got there, I felt like it was a whole new world. I could have gone lost if I was alone. Everything's changed so much. Just nothing is the same. Even in the little town where I'm from, like everything has changed. So it was cool seeing all the new changes and everything that's going on now. It was a very nice experience. Yes, so I've got a grandmother that's very ill, and I felt the need to go see her. But I was a little iffy about it because I have DACA and I don't have like rights to exit and come back into the country. But with the help of David Nguyen, this was possible for me, and it could be possible for other people as well. My case was approved in, I would say, a very fast timing, and it was great. The timing was awesome. There was no hiccups in the process. Everything went pretty smooth. So they made the application for me. They sent it out. When it got accepted, they notified me it got accepted, and we just went from there. They guided me through the whole process, and they also helped me making the appointment with the local office to make the process faster. And after I did that, it only took 10 to 15 days to get accepted. And like I said before, he notified me as soon as it was accepted, and that same day I had my letter of acceptance. Yeah, I don't have words of what it meant to me. I am very thankful, and yeah, I mean, I don't really have words for it. It's a big blessing for me. I would say that you have no fears to have. There's very small concerns. You might lose some time on your way back before exiting the airport, but there is no worries at all. Everything goes pretty smooth, and if Mr. David Nguyen says that you should do it, you should just do it.
At David Nguyen's law office, we are here to help you. We bring families together through immigration. And on the other hand, we help you find solutions. All your legal needs in the hands of people who care, who are there for you. We'll take care of your loved ones at the law office of David Nguyen.